Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm gonna start a new project today because I've been thinking about this since watching one of Natasha's video from Too Much Stash. She mentioned that she was doing sort of a project. I don't know if it was public, but she was doing a 25 times usage from each blush in her collection. And I remember I saw her mentioning this about, I don't know, like 6 months ago or so. And I was so into that project, but I thought it was impossible because I have about 170 blushes or something like that, counting the ones that I have in the palettes. I don't know how many I have, but it's over 150 blushes. Keeping that in mind, it's hard for me to use one blush 25 times, and it's not that hard. So if I grab a blush and I fall in love with it, I will use it throughout the entire year and I will not feel bad about using the same blush. But I will from time to time use one blush one time or two times, and that's the way I roll. But this year, starting from today, which is October anyway, I want to start a project that's going to be called the Blush Project. So this is going to be the intro, and what I'm going to do is I have the rules written right here and I have the blushes that I'm going to start with. How does the project work? I'm going to grab 10 blushes from my collection. I'm going to pick them taking into account the products that I have in my everyday makeup drawer and the products that I have on my other project pans. And I'm gonna grab 10 blushes, the ones that I want. So the rules are that I get to use or have to use each of those 10 blushes 4 times. For me, that's reasonable in order for me to rotate the blushes throughout the year. And then I'm gonna be doing one update a month. So a month from now, we'll be doing an update, but I don't have to roll new blushes on the update. If I use the Burberry's Toasted Cinnamon blush 4 times, if I feel like I don't want to use any of the blushes that I have here, I can roll another one in for another 4 uses, and then I will mention that on the update. I know that since I'm sort of organized in this sense, I will not be rolling in blushes every time I roll out one of the blushes because I use it 4 times, if that makes any sense. I know that most likely I will wait until the update unless I have a need for a specific look that will want to make me roll in a new blush. But those are the rules. It's not something that needs to be hard on me. It's just that I want to use all of my blushes from today till December 31st of 2021. I can't roll out any of the 10 blushes that I have in the rotation unless I'm willing to declutter it if I don't use it 4 times. So I need to use it at least 4 times. If not, that means that I'm willing to declutter it and let it go from my collection. And also I want you guys to keep in mind that every update, not necessarily I will have all the blushes done, because I also have project pans, and I will have project pans next year as well. I have a Panda Face Palette project and I will have that next year as well. And I also have Partners in Cream project pan that I will have next year, and my yearly project pan. And I will probably, maybe not, but I will probably have blushes coming in and out of the project, and I have a seasonal project pan. So my channel is full of projects and project pans. And I don't want to tell you guys that these are the only blushes that I'm going to use, even though there are 10, because I will be using also the blushes that get into my projects of the year. Okay guys, so let's start with the 10 blushes that I chose for this update. And I want to start with the one that I'm wearing today, and this is Almeria by Nars. And it's Almeria, I think, in Spanish. It has an accent on the I. So my Nars blushes are broken, so you guys have to get used to it. The humidity here damages or ruins this package, and they're not new blushes because I've had them for a while, but they work perfectly fine. So the Almeria blush is a matte tan rose shade. I will do close-ups of the blushes if I can, but you can see it right here on my cheeks. I love it. I think it's perfect for fall. It's really, really nice, and it has a matte finish. I think blushes are not meant to be swatched. When you swatch them, you lose a lot of the finish that you can get on the cheeks with them. This is one of my newest blushes, and this is Nars Savage, and it's a shimmering finish. You can see here how burnt this is. This is a warm brown shimmering blush. and these are easier to swatch. They look highly pigmented. Nars blushes are all pigmented, but the ones that are shimmering, they're more buttery because of the shimmery formula. So you can feel them and they feel more wet-like in the consistency, and they're easy to mess up because if you apply a lot, it will show like a lot of product. But I bought it and I went in and used Orgasm X a lot, but then Savage I kind of used it twice and then I wasn't sure on how to use it, so that's why I put it on the project, because I really want to make myself use it. Next I have Sin, and Sin, it's depotted. I have 3 of the blushes that I put on this project. I depotted them and now I'm gonna put them on my Franken palette that has a few cheek products inside of it, but that's mostly eyeshadow, and that will help me use them more. This is a warm dark plum frost finish, and this is one of the most unique blushes that I have in my collection. You can see here it's basically the tone of my top today, and the finish of it is so beautiful, and I never use this blush. It's so pretty. You can see it looks like a bruise, but not in a bad way. It's the best way to explain it, but it's sort of a light shimmering bruise on your face, and it's wonderful for fall. So this is gonna be my 3rd blush. This is a collab. It's Sarah Moon and Nars collab, and this is Isadora. Isadora is one of my favorite Nars blushes that I've rediscovered in my collection lately. So I pulled this out, and this was the reason why I decided to start this project, because I basically bought them, and then after this collab I didn't really get to purchase any other Nars collabs. Even though I wanted them, I didn't purchase them because I wasn't using neither Impudic and Isadora, which were the Sarah Moon collab, until I purchased Savage and Orgasm X, because I was thinking that I wasn't using my blushes for good reason, because I have too many. So that's the story behind this project, and Isadora started it all because I have been using this blush about 4 times only in the last week. I decided to keep it on the project because I'm really in love with it. So I'm gonna count it from now on 4 more times, and then I'm gonna rotate it because I really want to use the rest of my collection. But this is a warm medium plum, and it's a frost finish. I love the frost finish from Nars because it's different from the shimmering formula, but it's still not matte. It has sort of a sheen to it and a frosty finish to it, but it doesn't really enhance texture. It's not that blinding that it will make you look or crackly. I think it even suits older skin types or more mature skin types because it's the type of shine that makes you look hydrated. It doesn't enhance everything that you don't want to enhance. This is Nars Luster, and this is one of my most used blushes from Nars. You can see that I've heat pan on it. I would repurchase if I finish it. I still have another one of these on a palette, so if I finish this one, I will not repurchase because I have to finish the one in a palette. But this is wonderful. If you don't love Orgasm and you want something that's more on the orangey side and you love the finish, the glittery without huge glitter speckles on your face, Luster will be the best that you can find. I love this. I think this is wonderful. So Luster is a tangerine color with an orange sheen. This is definitely warm, but it's just so wearable, so everyday. It's wonderful. I really love it. If I carry it on my kit, the times that I rotate it into my makeup artistry kit, if I don't know what blush to use on a client, I will either go to Madly, which is one that I have in a Project Pan, or Luster. So this is a wonderful one. I would highly recommend it. Now, closing color to Almeria, I have here Seduction, and this is described as a sangria shade. It's a deep red wine shade with a sheen. So Almeria is a matte shade, but they're pretty similar. It's just that Seduction is deeper. So you can see them right here. They look basically the same when you look at them the way I am right now, but this one looks a little bit deeper, if you can see, and it has more of a sheen in the finish. Even though it's not a frost, it still has sort of a sheen to it. This is the type of color that I'm wearing on my cheeks right now, and I bought these colors because I love imagining my cheeks being out in snow. Even though I live in the most humid, warm weather of all time, I love that look, but I never recreate it. I'm always into the peachy colors, and what I wanna do is get out of that box and get back to using different shades that I don't usually use. So Seduction is gonna be sort of the second one after I use Almeria the 4 times that it needs to be used. I will see which one I love the most. And a lot of these Nars blushes are permanent and you can find them on Nars Cosmetics. So even the ones that I don't find at Sephora, I will leave them linked below wherever I can find them. And a few of them will be discontinued because they were limited edition, but I will always let you guys know the ones that I find. I will leave them linked below. And if you guys have them, you can play with them along with me. So yeah, Seduction is a sangria shade, and it's another one of those for the winter and fall months. This is the last Nars blush for the project, and I have other 3 from different brands, and this is gonna be the hardest for me to use, but I will use it. I know it for sure. I love playing with blush. Blush is the reason why I fell in love with makeup so hard, and Nars blushes are the reason why I started my makeup collection. I love this brand, I truly do. So the Nars Courva Tante, I don't know how you pronounce it. I guess it's French, but that's how I pronounce it. It was a limited edition. I think they re-released it, so I think they have it in Nars Cosmetics, but I bought it when it was limited edition, and this is a matte cool pink medium dark fuchsia shade. So you can see it right here. This is not for the faint of heart. This is really, really vibrant, and it's really deep. I bet this will look beautiful, beautiful on darker skin, but you can see how pigmented that is, and I think even the lighting makes it look more subtle than it is, but it's really, really, really bright. So yeah, this is gonna be used 4 times, and this is the one that makes me the most nervous because I don't know, I've had it for years, and I feel like I've never worn it. So I will use it with a light hand, and I will let you guys know. And again, on the updates, I will tell you which ones I adore to use, which ones are not my favorite and stuff, and which ones I'm ready to declutter if I am. I'm not doing this project to declutter any blush. I'm just doing it to love my blush collection. Okay, so I have here the Laura Mercier Rosé, and this is the blush color infusion, and I love, love, love these blushes. It looks lighter on camera, but this is a warm tone pink semi-matte formula. None of the blushes from Laura Mercier, not even the ones that have a little bit of shimmer like Fresco, are really shimmery on the cheeks. They have more of a satin finish, and I love that. I love that these are one of the most foolproof blush formula that I have in my collection. This is really pretty, and this is more easy for me to use. And even though I've put this on my favorites before, I want to reach for it more, and I have to say I closed my eyes in the blush drawer and I chose 3 different blushes that were not Nars, and that's the way that I chose these other brand blushes, so that I didn't get to choose them and they were chosen for me. So this is gonna be an easy one, and I'm happy because I have a lot of trickier ones in the project. Here I have the Rocketeur by Benefit, and this is a warm dark coral pearl finish. I don't see this as coral. When I see this, I see it more as a rose color, but it's okay. To each their own. And this is beautiful. When you swatch it, it looks more coral, but on the cheeks, I find this to be more of a rosy blush, and I really like it. It's not my favorite blush, but it looks wonderful on the skin. It looks wonderful on the cheeks, and this deserves more love than what it has gotten, and I'm happy that this was one of the blushes, and I think this is pretty appropriate for fall. And then last but not least, I think this is one of the most beautiful blushes for fall. It's Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon, and this was a gift from my friend Jamie. I really, really like this shade. I think this is gonna compete with Luster for my favorites. What I want to do is on each update, I will tell you which one was my favorite blush to use and which one was my least favorite and the reason behind it. So I know that Burt's Bees and Luster, just thinking about them, I haven't used them all, are gonna be on that top list. I really like this blush. I think it's wonderful. The name describes the color perfectly. It's sort of like a toasted cinnamon. It has a tan shade, sort of like a bronzy shade, And this blush, what I love the most is this one right here, is that you can basically use it all summer round, and then into fall it can create those spice latte type of colors on the cheeks, and I really like it. And I know that you can go deep with it and even use it sort of like a warmth to your face all over. I think this is one of the best ones that I have here, and one of the ones that is gonna be easier to use. Okay, so that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoy the project. I hope you learn from my wardrobe blush collection. You will see a lot of blushes. I will tell you the description of the colors, of the finishes of the blushes that I own, which one I love the most, which one I use over 4 times. I hope I don't do that because I want to really rotate them. I will also let you guys know if I find a dupe, if I find that the finish of one is not what I was expecting. I will make sure that I review these blushes for you on the updates, and I will make sure to keep rotating them and keep you guys on your toes and keep you guys happy. If you love blush, this is gonna be the project for you. I know I love blush so much, and I haven't been this excited for a project since I don't even remember. I'm so obsessed about doing this because I have to confess, I love doing project pans because it takes my makeup commitment to another level. But I truly prefer to rotate my collection, to just use what I want to use and just make myself use a few things for a period of time and then rotate it again as if I were shopping for something new inside of my collection. Because the project of the year, I love getting to love my stuff, not to use one thing at a time, and then after one blush is finished, let's say I put 1 or 2 of these blushes in a project pan, I will never use any other blush in my collection and they will start to go bad. So I always love to switch it up. So let's just do a name for the emoji. I'm gonna switch in between the blushes. Okay, this is Savage. So an emoji that's relatable to Savage in the comments below if you watch the entire video. Let me know if you're excited for the project, and if you are a YouTuber or if you have an Instagram makeup account or a YouTube makeup account and you want to join on this project, you're more than welcome to do so. Let's call it the blush project. We can do a hashtag, the blush project, and if you want to join, I'll be so happy if you do. Always tag me or let me know that you're doing it so that I can go and check it out. So that's it, you guys. Let's put Savage emojis below, and I love you, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.